They thought surviving the war was the hardest part. That once the guns fell silent, once the orders stopped coming, once the long nights in foreign places were finally over, everything else would be easy. No one warned him about how heavy the silence would feel when he came home. He still remembered the day he returned. Not because it was dramatic. Not because anything extraordinary happened, but because of how ordinary it looked. People were smiling, flags were waving, someone clapped him on the shoulder and said, "You're home now." He nodded. He even smiled back. But inside, something didn't move. Home looked the same. The streets, the houses, the trees lining the road, everything stood exactly where it had always been, and yet he felt like a guest walking through a place that no longer recognized him. At night, the quiet was unbearable. During the war, silence meant danger. Now, silence was everywhere. It pressed against his ears, it filled the room, it followed him into sleep. Sometimes he wished for noise, any noise, just to remind himself he was still awake. People asked him questions. They always did. "Are you glad to be back? Do you feel relieved? Isn't it good to be home?" He answered politely. He said the right things. Because how do you explain that relief doesn't arrive all at once? That some parts of you never boarded the plane back? He tried to settle into routines. Morning coffee, short walks, small conversations. But his body reacted before his mind could catch up. A door closing too loudly, footsteps behind him, a sudden shout from across the street. Each time his chest tightened, his breath shortened, his hands clenched without permission. And then came the embarrassment. Because there was no battlefield, no danger, only a quiet street, and a man standing alone trying to calm himself down. No one told him that coming home could feel like another kind of war. Not one fought with weapons, but one fought inside. At family gatherings, he sat quietly at the edge of the room. Laughter filled the air, stories overlapped, life moved forward without hesitation. He listened, he nodded. But the words floated past him like conversations from another world. He wanted to join in, he really did. But every time he opened his mouth, nothing came out. Not because he had nothing to say, but because what he carried inside didn't fit into simple sentences. At night, memories returned uninvited. Not all at once, not in order, just fragments. A face he hadn't seen in decades, a voice calling his name. A moment frozen between fear and relief. He learned not to fight them, because fighting only made them louder. Instead, he lay still and let them pass, like clouds moving across a dark sky. People often say time heals everything, but time doesn't heal. Time teaches you how to live with what didn't heal. Some days were easier. He went for longer walks. He noticed the seasons changing. He learned which benches felt comfortable and which streets felt too crowded. Slowly, very slowly, he found places where his mind could rest. Other days were heavier. On those days, he stayed home. He sat by the window, watched cars pass, watched people hurry by with places to be. He wondered how they carried their lives so lightly. No one told him that the hardest part of surviving was learning how to exist when the danger was gone. He tried explaining it once, not in detail, just a few words. But the look he received made him stop. It wasn't judgment. It was confusion, and that confusion reminded him that some experiences can't be shared. They can only be carried. So he stopped trying to explain. Instead, he learned to listen. He listened to the wind through the trees, to the ticking of the clock, to the soft rhythm of his own breathing. These sounds grounded him. They reminded him where he was. There were moments of peace, small ones, holding a warm cup of coffee, feeling sunlight through the window, watching leaves fall in slow, quiet spirals, moments where the past loosened its grip just enough for him to breathe. He realized something important over time. Healing didn't mean forgetting. It didn't mean being the person he was before. That person no longer existed. Healing meant accepting that he had changed, and that change didn't make him broken, It made him human. Some battles don't end when the war does. They follow us home. They sit beside us at dinner. They wait for us in the quiet moments, but they don't have to control us. He learned to live alongside them, not pushing them away, not inviting them in, just acknowledging they were there. And in that acceptance, he found something unexpected. Not happiness, not closure, but peace. A quiet kind of peace. The kind that doesn't announce itself. The kind that settles gently when you stop fighting who you've become. He wasn't the same man who left, and he never would be, but he was still here, still breathing, still living, still moving forward, one quiet day at a time. And sometimes that is enough. Some battles don't end when the war does. They simply follow us home, quietly. And if this moment feels familiar, I'm here, listening. You're not alone.